हाय गाइस, आज हम लोग पढ़ेंगे क्लास 8 सेकेंड चैप्टर ऑफ साइंस. दैट नेम वाज माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म फ्रेंड एंड फो. द नेम वाज माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म फ्रेंड एंड फो. In this chapter, the microorganism is our friend or foe. In this chapter, we will learn about this. Which one microorganism is a useful microorganism and which one is a harmful microorganism. Okay, so let's start this chapter. So, in this chapter, we have learned the topic to be covered. First is microorganism. What is microorganism? Okay, first is microorganism. Second is types of microorganism. In the microorganism, how many types of microorganism will be there? We can study that. And where do microorganism live? The microorganism live where? We study about that. And beneficial microorganism and beneficial microorganism. The beneficial microorganism gives us benefit, and that microorganism is our friend. Okay, in the beneficial microorganism, they will be found in first food industry, second environment, third in the medical industry. In the medical industry, in the three places: first food industry, medicine industry and environment, their beneficial microorganism can be present. In what types of microorganism means beneficial name of beneficial or microorganism that live or that in the food industry, that in the medicine industry, that in the environment. We can study about that. Okay, third is harmful microorganism. Third is harmful organism or harmful microorganism. If the harmful microorganism is our foe, the harmful microorganism is our foe, and in the harmful organism or microorganism, we can study about disease in humans. What is disease that can cause in human, and what are disease in plants, what are disease in animals. So all the disease that will occur in human, plants and animals, we can study about that. And the fourth, our last topic is food preservation. So food preservation, in the food preservation, we can preserve the food for a long time. How can we preserve food? And in the food preservation, we will study about need of preservation and method of preservation. We can study about this. Okay, so these are the topics that we covered in this chapter. Okay, so let's start the chapter. First is microorganism. What is microorganism? One second. You can study that what is microorganism. The organism and the smallest organism in the world, you can say that we cannot see with the naked eyes. We can see by the microscope or some other tools. Okay, so in the definition, a group of tiny organisms that are visible only under microscope. A group of tiny organisms that are visible only under a microscope. It is a group of some smallest and tiny organism which can be visible only under the microscope, not through the naked eyes or not through the any other thing. By the microscope or some other technical tools, we can see that the microorganism, where is microorganism or not. So microorganism, in types of microorganism, in the types of microorganism, microorganism are a different type, such as first virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoa and some algae. You know that all these, familiar with this word, that virus, fungi, algae, protozoa and bacteria. Okay, these are the types of microorganism. So types of microorganism, you can say here what are the structure of bacteria, okay, what are the structure of virus, what are the structure of algae, and what is the structure of protozoa and structure of fungi. Okay, so types of you will see that the bacteria, how the bacteria will be seen, and how the virus will be seen, and how the structure of algae, how the structure of protozoa, and how the structure of fungi also. So some of these microorganisms are the useful or some of the harmful. So let us study about that. So these were the structure of microorganism. Okay, so we can study about types of microorganism. So microorganism, in the microorganism, then we will study about where do microorganism live. We can study about types of microorganism. So here we can study where do microorganism lives. Okay, so they live in all type of environments, such as a very extreme condition, very cold condition, and such as in the very warm condition, in the very cold condition, and in the human digestive system also, and water bodies also. These were the place where the microorganism can live. So there they live in all the environment. They live in all the environment, ranging from ice cold. One second. Ranging of ice cold, one place, and climates to hot spring, means very hot place, and desert you know that it is very warm place. Okay, and water bodies and human digestive system, these are the place where the microorganism live. If in your examination the teacher will ask you that where do microorganism live, you can write there microorganism live in the human digestive system, water bodies, and very extreme conditions such as very cold, means where very cold, such as Uttarakhand. Okay, so Uttarakhand is a very cold place, and desert, that are Rajasthan, are in Rajasthan. So you will see here the water bodies. You will see here water bodies, and the water bodies, in the water bodies, lakes, ponds, okay, river and oceans, many water bodies will be there. But once again, first will be lakes, L means lakes, second will be pond, P, I can write the short form, and river, R, ocean, O. These were the water bodies. In the water bodies, if anywhere it will talk about water bodies, so you can write in the water bodies, you can understand that it will be talk about lakes, ponds, rivers and oceans. Okay, so there are the water bodies. Here are the human digestive system. What is human digestive system? In the human digestive system, you will know that many organisms. First cell, second tissue, third organ, fourth organ system, and fifth it will be organism. Okay, so the smallest unit of the water of the digestive of the bodies of all human life will be cell. Many cells together make tissue, many tissue together make organ, many organ many organ make together make organ system, and one organ system when connected, that will be form the organism. Okay, so in the human digestive system you will know that many organism will be there, many organ will be there. So in the human digestive system also the microorganism can be live. Okay, third will be very extreme condition. Extreme condition will be, it will be cold, or it will be, one second, it will be cold or it will be warm. Yes, so in the extreme condition, in the water bodies, in the human digestive system, the microorganism can live. Okay, so these were the place where the microorganism can live. So our second topic is beneficial microorganism. Then we will talk about beneficial microorganism. Then in the beneficial microorganism you will know that which is beneficial microorganism which can benefit us and which can give something and which cannot harm us is known as beneficial microorganism. The microorganism which gives us some benefit and don't harm us is known as beneficial microorganism. The beneficial microorganism, the first place they present is the food factory. In the food factory, the beneficial microorganism can be present. How? Let us study about that. A process, that name was the fermentation. That name was the fermentation. Then let us study what is fermentation. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol along with release of carbon dioxide by yeast in the absence of oxygen. In this process, the sugar is converted into alcohol with the release of carbon dioxide and in the absence of oxygen by an microorganism which name was yeast. Okay, so this help in the fermentation. Okay, so let you understand what is fermentation. The process of converting sugar into alcohol along with the release of carbon dioxide by the yeast and in the absence of oxygen. Okay, so this is the definition of fermentation. In the fermentation, the three things is coming. By the fermentation process, the three things that can be the three material that can be in the kitchen are made. Not kitchens, two are in the kitchen. First is bread, your favorite, and second is the curd. And one by one we will study about that. The bread you will eat that, and the curd you will also eat. Okay, so in the bread making, the yeast is needed in the bread. One second. Yes, the yeast is needed in the bread making. In the bread making, you know that the fermentation process will be occur. In the bread making, the fermentation process will be occur. Okay, so yeast is needed in the bread making. Okay, it feeds on the sugar present in the dough to release alcohol and carbon dioxide. The presence of carbon dioxide in the dough keeps the bread is fluffy texture. Then, firstly, in the industry of the bread, where the bread will be make or where the bread will be prepared, in that industry, firstly dough of bread which is of maida or also flour, but it is of maida. Okay, first the dough will be prepared. Okay, then the dough contains sugar. The dough contains the one second, the dough contain sugar. Okay, then by the process of fermentation the sugar convert into alcohol. Okay, the sugar into alcohol, and by this process the fermentation, firstly the dough contain the sugar. By the process of fermentation and by the bacteria yeast, it convert into alcohol, sugar into alcohol. Okay, and when the alcohol will be when the sugar is converted into alcohol, the carbon dioxide together with release also CO2 will be released. Okay, so the CO2 gives the bread its fluffy texture. One second. Yes, firstly the sugar will be converted into alcohol by the process of fermentation, and along with the alcohol the CO2 will be released. Okay, and this CO2 gives bread its fluffy texture. You will see that the bread has a fluffy texture. The fluffy texture is given by the alcohol, by the carbon dioxide which is released along with alcohol by the bacteria. The fermentation is done with the bacteria yeast. Okay, if the yeast cannot present, the fermentation cannot be possible. Okay, so the sugar is converted into alcohol along with carbon dioxide also released by the process of fermentation and by the bacteria yeast. Okay, and then the CO2 gives the bread to the fluffy texture. Okay, gives the bread its fluffy texture. One second. Gives the bread to the fluffy texture. Okay, so this is the process of bread making, how the bread will be prepared. The second is by the fermentation, the second thing which is prepared is wine. Okay, okay, so wine, in the wine also the yeast is needed. This bacteria yeast is needed. Okay, this is yeast. One second. This is yeast. Okay, so in the preparation of wine the yeast is also needed. Okay, the yeast is also needed. Again the process of fermentation will be occur. The sugar, you know that the wine is, one second, wine is made from grapes. Okay, grapes, we can fermentate the grapes by the bacteria yeast. We can fermentate the grapes to produce wine. Okay, so first the sugar that is present, again the fermentation the process will be occur. The sugar that is present in the grapes, the sugar is present that in the grapes will convert into alcohol together with CO2. One second. The sugar is convert into alcohol together with CO2. Okay, and this and By this process, by the process of fermentation, the alcohol or wine will be prepared. Firstly, we will prepare the wine by the grapes, okay, the fruit grapes. We can fermentate the fruit gas, that by the fermentation of grapes the wine is produced. So in your examination a question will be there that which fruits is help us to in making of wine. So you can easily answer grapes is a fruit which can may help in making the wine, okay. So you can understand that. Again I can repeat it. The yeast bacteria cause the fermentation, okay. The grapes, by the grapes the wine is prepared. The in the grape the sugar is present, and by the fermentation process the sugar can convert into, that sugar is convert into alcohol with CO2, okay, alcohol with CO2. So by this the wine is prepared, okay. So by this simple process, okay. So third and last one is curd, okay. curd curd making, okay. So the third things that can be prepared by the process of fermentation will be a curd. Firstly we make bread, second we make wine, and the third is curd. So the curd also contain bacteria. These all things, the bread also contain bacteria, the wine also contain bacteria, and the curd also contain bacteria. But don't don't stop eating the curd, because the bacteria is very benefit to us. That is, that name was lactobacillus. Okay. So let's start how the curd will be formed. Firstly, in the curd making, a bacteria that name was lactobacillus. That named was, one second. This is a bacteria, okay. This is a bacteria which can be help in the curd making. Very important point. This is a bacteria which can help in the curd making. In the curd also repeat the process of fermentation, but in the wine and bread the fermentation can be done by the yeast, but in the curd the fermentation done by the lactobacillus bacteria. So the lactobacillus also do that time, okay, also do that work that can yeast will be done, okay. So the lactobacillus is used in the curd used to prepare the curd by fermentated the milk, okay, fermentated the milk. So you know that firstly we boil the milk and then add some curd add some curd to the milk, and then after some time and all the night, then in the morning we can see that the all the milk can be converted into a curd. This is because of fermentation process. So the sugar molecule that can be present in the milk, one second. The sugar molecule that is present in the milk, okay, milk is broken down into an acid. This sugar is broken down into an acid that name was lactic acid. That name was लैक्टिक और आगे एसिड. ओके ठीक है. सो the sugar molecule of milk get converted into the lactic acid by the lactic acid, if it is that also. So the lactic acid will be formed by the process of fermentation. The lactobacillus bacteria can convert the sugar molecules of milk into the lactic acid, and by this lactic acid the curd will be formed. The curd will be formed help of lactic acid. Okay. So there will be done how the curd will be formed. We will study recently how can bread will be prepared, how can wine will be prepared. One second, one by one. Okay. So first is bread making, bread. Second is wine, and the third will be curd. Okay. So these three things we can study how they will formed or prepared. Okay. So next will be useful microorganism. Okay, next will be useful microorganism. We can study about the useful microorganism because the food industry will be finished. The food industry is be present, complete. Okay. Then second is the environment. Then second is the in the environment. So let us study about in the environment. The nutrient replenishment in the soil, we will study about that. So how can in the environment the microorganism can be benefit us? First, let us study. Some bacteria are able to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere in the soil. Some bacteria that are able to fix nitrogen from the air. This enriches the soil. One second. This enriches the soil with nitrogen and increases fertility. These microbes are commonly called biological nitrogen fixers. Okay. So some bacteria have ability to convert the nitrogen gas into nitrogen oxide, means nitrate or nitrite. That will be nitrogen gas can be present in the atmosphere, but the nitrate or nitrite cannot be present in the atmosphere. The bacteria that have ability to convert nitrogen gas into nitrate or nitrite, that helps the plant very means the bacteria that were able to fix the nitrogen gas into the nitrate or nitrite, they are very useful microorganism to the plant. The nitrate or nitrite oxide, these were the nitrogen oxide. Okay, these were the nitrogen oxide. These enriches the soil growth. Okay, the soil growth can be enriched, means the soil growth will be of, okay, the soil growth will be done. Okay. So and these microbes, once again, these microbes are called, these microbes are called, one second, yes, these microbes are called biological, one second, bio Yes, these microbes is known as biological nitrogen fixer. So these were the important point, that microorganism is known as bio one second biological nitrogen fixer. Which bacteria is called biological nitrogen fixer? The name was rhizobium. You can write their rhizobium if they were named, and if they are asked what is biological nitrogen fixers, so you can write that the bacteria which have ability to convert the nitrogen gas into nitrate or nitride, which enriches the soil, which enriches the plant growth and help in the fulfill the requirement of the plant. So the micro these microbes are commonly called the biological nitrogen fixers. Biological nitrogen fixers. Okay. So, and the commonly example of the biological nitrogen fixer, the name was the rhizobium. One second. The name was rhizobium. Okay. So this is a bacteria, the biological nitrogen fixer. The commonly example is the rhizobium. Okay. So you can study in the environment first. Then second is decomposition. The second is decomposition. Okay, so the decomposition, the microorganism decompose dead organic waste of plant and animal converting them into the simple substance, thus it helps in the keeping the environment clean. Then the microorganism, MO means microorganism, write in the short form. So listen carefully. The microorganism can convert the dead or remains of plants and animals into the organic material or organic matter, which is also called the humus, and this and dead or means the remains and dead organic waste of plant and animals. These microorganisms can be converted into the can be convert in can be convert into the humus or organic matter, which is very helpful for the soil. And in the humus, you can know that it has many nutrients. It contains essential nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. We will study in earlier chapter. And by this bacteria also our environment will be clean. Okay, also the environment will be clean. It helps in the environment, it helps in keeping the environment clean. Okay, so you will study about also decomposition. In the decomposition, you listen carefully. The microorganism which convert the dead organic material or remains of plants and animals into the simple substance, thus it helps in keeping the environment clean. So that by this is called decomposition, or this organism help in the environment. So yeah, the nitrogen cycle. One second. Yes. So we will study about nutrient replenishment of the soil. So how can the nitrogen means nitrogen in the atmosphere, a gas, can be converted into nitrate or nitrite by the bacteria, by the useful microorganisms such as rhizobium. So let us study. This is the nitrogen cycle. This for one second. So this is a nitrogen cycle. Okay, so firstly let us start. Yes, you can see here the nitrogen in the atmosphere. The nitrogen in the atmosphere. Check. So the nitrogen in the atmosphere by the thunder and storm. You will see here by the thunder or storm. Okay, the atmosphere can be converted into ammonium, means that name was Na, means ammonium converted into ammonium, and together with and together with the night. Once again, by one we can study about this. Firstly we will study this process. Okay, so by the thunder and storm, the nitrogen gas that in the atmosphere is converted into the ammonium. Okay, converted into the ammonium, and the ammonium is means go to the nitrifying bacteria. Okay, this is a nitrifying bacteria, and the nitrifying bacteria can change into the ammonium change into the nitrate, or nitrate means NO2, and then also if another nitrifying bacteria, so and then it give to the plant. One second. Firstly, by the thunder and storm, it converted into ammonium. It converted into ammonium. Okay, this ammonium by the nitrifying bacteria, it changed into the nitrite. It changed into the nitrite by the nitrifying bacteria. Okay, then it will give to the plant. So this is the process by which the plant get nitrogen, and the second process will be, then we can study the second process. The and also once again in the process of thunder and storm, by the thunder and storm the plant get nitrogen. Here by the nitrifying bacteria, it changed into the nitrite, and nitrate go to the plants. Nitrate go to the plants. Okay, and some organism eat plant, means some herbivores eat plant, and when the death of this organism, the decomposer change into the organic matter, and this is the decomposer, and mixed in the soil. Okay, the dead remains of means humus be mixed into the soil. You will see that on the soil many organism death will be occur. So by the decomposer they will decompose. Okay, and then in the soil it change into the ammonium. It change into the ammonium. Okay, so this all, then ammonium, then by the ammonium also again change in the N2 gas. Okay, again change in the N2 gas. So this is a nitrogen in the atmosphere. Okay, and then the second process is the nitrogen in the atmosphere convert by the nitrogen fixers. Convert by the nitrogen fixers. It can be converted by the nitrogen fixers. Okay, then the nitrogen fixers also again change in the ammonium, and this ammonium is changed into the nitrate or nitride. Then it give to the plant, and the plant can eaten by the give to the plant, and plant can be eaten by the animal, and animal can decompose. After the death of animal, it can be decomposed by the decomposer, and then it also mixed in the soil in the form of ammonia again. Okay, so and also the nitrate, then the nitrate, the ammonium or nitrate, some nitrate and some when the death of the organism can help and the humus will be mixed into the soil, means ammonium can be mixed into the soil. The you will see a denitrifying bacteria. The ammonium can go to the by the denitrifying bacteria, and the denitrifying bacteria can convert it into the again N2. So this is the nitrogen cycle. You can study. Okay, you can study. So what can you do? First, the nitrogen in atmosphere can by the thunderstorm can change it into ammonium can be changed into the nitrifying bacteria, means it change into the nitrate, and it get by the plant, and the plant eaten by the animals, and animals after the death of animals it mixed into the soil in the form of ammonia and ammonium, and ammonium goes to the denitrifying bacteria which can change the nitrogen oxide into the nitrogen gas. And one process is there, the nitrogen in the atmosphere can be changed into the can be changed by the nitrogen, some nitrogen means nitrogen fixers, and some nitrifying bacteria which can change direct into the nitrate or nitride, and the nitrate or nitride can be get to the plant, and again the plant is eaten by animals, and animals after the death of animals it can be changed, it can be decomposed by the decomposer, and then it mixed into the soil in the form of ammonium, and then ammonium goes to, and then by the denitrifying bacteria the ammonium get converted into the nitrogen gas. So this is the process of nitrogen cycle. So let us study about our next microorganism, useful microorganism. The third place is in the medical industry. So in the medical industry, first in the vaccine, first it made up of dead or weakened microbes. The vaccine is made up of dead or weakened microbes. Okay. Second, it provides immunity to the body. It provides some energy or some immunity. By the vaccines, our body can also be grow some disease. Some by the vaccine fight against the disease. Okay. It provides immunity to the body. It can be injected to or given through drops. It can be auto injected to our body, such as in the hand, okay, or given through the drop. Okay, the Edward Jenner first discovered the vaccine in 1498 for smallpox. Firstly, this was the point that you can learn that the vaccine is discovered by Edward Jenner. The vaccine is discovered by Edward Jenner in the year 1498 for the smallpox. You can know that the smallpox. What is smallpox? The smallpox is a disease that can be caused in the humans. Okay, so vaccine can be against many diseases such as smallpox, also such as some viruses, such as you can recently seen for the vaccine for the coronavirus. Okay, so by the viruses and by the many disease, so the vaccine will be formed. Okay, so Edward Jenner first discovered the vaccine in the 1498 for the smallpox. Very simple. Okay, and he used the cowpox virus for the vaccine. In the vaccine, a virus, a useful microorganism. In the microorganism, the virus will also be coming. Don't forget it. Remember it. Okay. So it used the cowpox virus in the vaccine. You will remember it. The Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine in 1498 for the disease smallpox. He used the cowpox virus in the vaccine. In that vaccine, sorry, he used the cowpox virus. Okay. Second is antibiotic. You know that the antibiotic is fight against disease. Okay. The antibiotic, you can eat medicine, the disease will also, the chemical or that the microorganism that is present in the every medicine can fight against disease. Okay. So in the antibiotic, chemical substance produced by microbes, chemical substance produced by microbes to kill other microbes. So yes, the antibiotic in the chemical substance in the it means you can prepare the antibiotic to fight against another microorganism. In the disease also the another microorganism can help. Okay, can live. Okay, so the microorganism can affect our body, but when we take some useful microorganism, it gives immunity to our body, it provides immunity to our body, it helps in fight against disease. So when we take some vaccine or antibiotic or some medicine from the anywhere such as medicine shop, you can take the vaccine, antibiotic and means all the medicine you will take about in the medicinary shop. Okay, so this the also we can use the medicine to fight against another microorganism. Okay, so the example of the antibiotic will be streptomycin. The name was very difficult, but you can remember it. Streptomycin. One second. Streptomycin, tetracycline, and erythromycin are the one second. Erythromycin are the example of the antibiotic. Streptomycin, erythromycin and tetracycline are the example of some are the named of the some antibiotic. So next, yes, there were the end of the useful microorganism. Then harmful microorganism. In the harmful microorganism, we will talk about pathogens. Some of the microorganisms cause disease in human beings. Plants and animals. One second. Such disease-causing microorganisms are called pathogens. In our body, the disease will be occur by the microorganism which can be harmful, which can be affect our body, which can harm us. That microorganism is known as the pathogens. Okay, that microorganism is known as the pathogens. Okay, so this is a pathogens, and then we will talk about bacterial disease in humans. The disease that is caused or occur by the bacteria, that is known as bacterial disease. And in the humans, first disease named will be tuberculosis. The tuberculosis can be caused by the contaminated air droplets, means contaminated air droplets. Okay, and by which microorganism or by which pathogens? The name was the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis. This is a bacteria by which the in the human the disease will be occur. You will know some another point, but in the examination, in the all the common examination, they will ask tuberculosis is done by the bacteria, virus, or protozoans, or none of the above. These were the four examples. You will take on the bacteria. Okay, don't forget it can be all the disease that can be studied in the bacterial disease in humans are the caused by the bacteria. Okay, so the bacteria name was Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Okay, second disease will be typhoid. You will know that many of you says that he can suffering from the typhoid. I can also be suffered from the typhoid. I have typhoid means I can suffer. I have disease means I am suffering from disease typhoid. Okay, so you can study about this. So the typhoid can be caused by the contaminated water or food. It can be caused by the contaminated water or food. It means in dirty water food. Okay, and by the bacteria named Salmonella typhi. Okay, Salmonella typhi. These were the name of the bacteria by which the typhoid disease will be occur. That name was the Salmonella typhi. Very means very what I say, yes, very different name, no, not common. Okay, so this is a very difficult, yes, difficult name to pronounce. So but you can remember it that this is can be caused by the bacteria. Okay, third disease will be cholera. The cholera can be caused by the contaminated air or water. Contaminated air and water. And by the bacteria, all three, that is about tuberculosis, typhoid or cholera, all these are occurred by the bacteria. The bacteria name was Vibrio cholera. Vibrio cholera. So this is a three disease which can be caused by bacteria. Then viral disease in humans. Viral disease means the disease which can be caused by virus is known as the viral disease in humans, that can be caused in humans. So first, one second. Yes. First disease is hepatitis A. The disease name was hepatitis A. One second. Okay, the hepatitis A can be caused by the contaminated water of food, same as typhoid, but it can be caused by the virus that named was the hepatitis A virus. Very simple virus, na? Its name by the hepatitis A disease that named was hepatitis A virus. You will remember that things that tuberculosis, typhoid, cholera can be caused by bacteria, and their hepatitis A, chickenpox, polio can be done by the virus. So remember these things, not necessary to remember these name of the virus, but you can remember by which organism, by which microorganism the disease will be caused. The name was bacteria, virus, or some another microorganism. Okay. So second disease is chickenpox, very familiar disease to us, and this can be caused by the contaminated air or direct contact. It is a communicable disease. Okay, you can know about the communicable and non-communicable disease. Okay, so second and is virus name was Varicella zoster virus. Very by the name it can be feel as a very harmful bacteria, Varicella zoster virus. It can be caused also by virus. Okay, so next disease is polio. The polio is done by the contaminated air or water. So its virus will be also it is caused by the polio virus. Okay, it is caused by the poliovirus. So these three diseases which can be caused by the virus. And then the vector-borne disease in humans. It means it can be caused by also organism, not microorganism. It can be caused by the organism. Okay. So yes. So first disease's name was malaria. Malaria is caused by female anopheles. Anopheles. The female anopheles is mode of transmission of malaria. It can be the pathogen's name was plasmodium. The pathogen's name was plasmodium. Remember these pathogens name, not very difficult. The malaria is caused, the mode of transmission of malaria is female anopheles. Phels or phallus, your pronunciation will be different. You can see that different people can pronounce same word in different word on different sense, so you can see. And the pathogens will be plasmodium. The pathogens is a plasmodium. And second disease is dengue. Second disease is dengue. The dengue is caused by the female Aedes. The dengue is caused by the female Aedes. And its pathogen's name was dengue virus. Its pathogen's name was dengue virus. You will remember that. Okay. So, then one second. Yes. Harmful microorganism. So, disease in animals. Okay, we can study about harmful microorganism, but firstly, disease in animals. So, what for the diseases that can recently we will study about disease in humans, but here we will discuss about disease in animals. The first disease is foot mouth disease. It's short formed. One second. Yes, foot mouth disease. Its short form was the FMD. Okay, short form will be FMD. This is a disease. So, cause agent and symptoms. Cause agent and symptoms we will discuss about. FMD means foot mouth disease that been caused in the animals. Okay, so transmitted through direct contact. It means it can be talk about mode of transmission. Listen carefully and study carefully also. Okay, transmitted through direct contact and contaminated air droplet. It can be caused by this is a mode of transmission. It can be transmitted through direct contact or contaminated air droplet. Okay, so you will also, it can be caused by virus. The virus name was apthovirus. Remember these things. And symptoms, you will know that what is symptoms now. The symptoms means when these symptoms occur in the animals, not humans, because it is an animal disease. Okay, so when we occur in the animal, this is symptoms, the FMD means foot mouth disease will be occur. Okay, so first is lesion, second is painful blisters, third is excessive salivation. These three things are three symptoms of the foot mouth disease. Okay, next, one second. So the second disease name was anthrax. Let us talk about causal disease agent and systems. You will know that the anthrax can be caused by bacteria. Okay, so it transmitted through means its mode of transmission will be soil, food or water. Contaminated soil, food and water By this mode of transmission, the anthrax disease in animals will be done. It caused by bacillus. It's caused by bacteria. That name was the bacillus anthracis. That name was the bacillus anthracis. The symptoms include difficulty in breathing. One second. Difficulty in breathing. Second, convulsions means convulsions. Okay, so convulsions, and third is fever. Okay, one second. Second in convulsions, third is fever. So these three symptoms, when these symptoms occur in the animals, you can understand that the anthrax disease will be caused in the humans. Okay, means animals. Okay, not humans. It can be caused in the animals. One second. Yes, harmful microorganism. We'll talk about already no harmful microorganism, but there will be cause about disease in the plants. Disease that, one second. Disease caused by the microorganism in the plants. In the plants. Okay. So first disease is named was citrus canker. You will see here citrus canker. Its mode of transmission will be air. Its mode of transmission will be air. It pathogens is a bacteria, means it can be caused by the bacteria. That name was the Xanthomonas axonopodis. But not necessary to know the bacterial name, but you can know that citrus canker will be done by the bacteria. Okay, means can be caused by the bacteria. Its pathogens will be bacteria. Name was the Xanthomonas axonopodis. That name, that pronunciation. ठीक है? Okay, done. So second disease will be wheat rust. Second disease will be wheat rust. It can be caused by the air and seed. Its mode of transmission will be air and seed. It can be caused by the fungi. It can be caused by the fungi. That name was Pusinia rust fungus. Pusinia rust fungus. That name of the fungi. Okay. It can be caused by fungi. Remember that thing. Okay. Third disease is yellow vein mosaic. That is mode of transmission will be insect. Insect is the mode of transmission. The disease name was yellow vein mosaic, and it is caused by the virus. It is caused by the virus, and the virus name was yellow vein mosaic. One second. Yellow vein mosaic virus. Very simple the disease, and after the disease virus. Okay, yellow vein mosaic virus. This is the things by which. So this is a disease. When we talk about harmful microorganism also. So fourth and last topic will be a food preservation. Fourth and last topic will be a food preservation. So why do we need for preservation? Means why we need preservation. So need of preservation. Firstly, we talk about needs of preservation. So microorganism can spoil food by releasing toxic substance. Consuming such food leads to food poisoning. Okay, one second. Okay, the first point is why do we need a preservation, means why do we done a food preservation. The first is the microorganism can spoil the food by releasing the toxic substance that was inside the body of that microorganism, and it can be this food that can be spoiled by the microorganism if that food is eaten by the any humans or any animals or any living organism, the food poisoning will be done. It caused the food poisoning. So that consuming that food, that will be spoiled by the microorganism or by the spoil, which the food that can be spoiled is known as means that by the consuming of such rich food, that can be occur to food poisoning. Okay, for example, E. coli enters the body through vegetables and fruit contaminated by sewage water. Then E. coli is a E. coli, yes, E. coli. E. coli enters in our body by the vegetables and fruits, that contaminated by the sewage water. It means very dirty water. Okay, by the vegetables and fruits that can be contain the dirty water, we can inject the water. Okay, so E. coli, by the example, E. coli enters our body, which is very harmful to us. So third point will be spoiled food emits bad smell and a bad state and change color. You will know that how can we means how can we determine, how can we define a food that is spoiled or not. So its color will be changed, its smell will be changed, its taste will be changed. So that food, the smell will be very unpleasant, and it colors in the change. If the food is in white color, it convert into the green color, so it can be spoiled. Okay, and it has a bad smell. When you smell, it has a very unpleasant smell. Okay, also. So symptoms of food poisoning will be symptoms of food poisoning, very easy symptoms such is abdominal cramps. First is abdominal cramps, second is nausea, third is fever, fourth is vomiting, and fifth is diarrhea. You will familiar with these words. Some of the words you don't know. Okay, but about most of the word you can listen. Okay, so these were the symptoms of the food poisoning. You will see here the symptoms. Okay, so yes, so move to next, which is the food preservation. But in the food preservation there will be a method. So there will be a method of preservation. So the first method will be a vacuum packing. The first method will be a vacuum packing. In the vacuum packing, the food are stored in packets from which air is removed. The food is stored in a very tight packet by which the air does not exchange and the air is removed. And the removal of air prevents the growth of microorganisms. If the air cannot be occur in the vacuum, you know that the vacuum, maybe you know do not that, but the vacuum is an area where no area will be found, no air will be found. Okay, so when the air will be, the removal of air can be stop the growth of microorganism. So by the vacuum packing you can preserve the food. Second is pasteurization. The pasteurization is done by of the milk. You can know that in your means in your house the food is the milk is come. Okay, the milk is come and milk is heated. In the pasteurization is done by milk is heated to a certain temperature to kill microbes. You know that if we heated some things, the microbes that are present inside the food can be killed. Okay, but in the some food material, if we can boil, if we can heated, the major nutrients such as vitamins can be destroyed. But milk is heated on a certain temperature, means on a specific temperature, to kill the microbes. Okay, and then it is then it is then quickly cooled at a low temperature to prevent further growth of microbes. Yes, fifth means if you can heat in a certain temperature, the milk can be heated in a certain temperature, then quickly it can be cooled at a low temperature. At a low temperature it can be cooled, okay, to prevent further growth of microbes. If you cannot get cool or you cannot boil the milk properly, the growth of microbes will be occur in the milk that can be harmful to us. So this is a method of pasteurization. Then one second. Then adding of chemical preservatives. It means addition of some other chemical preservatives. So in the adding of chemical preservatives, you know that the some chemical enters in the food or some chemical added to the food to preserve it. Okay, the first is sodium benzonate and sodium metabisulfite. Okay, metabisulfite are commonly used chemical preservatives. As a chemical preservatives, sodium benzonate and sodium metabisulfite are used as a chemical preservatives. Okay, so fourth is salt and sugar. By the salt and sugar also the food can be preserved. How? Let's see that. Meat and fish are preserved by curing them with salt. We can preserve the meat and fish. You will know that many of you also eat meat and fish, which is a carnivores, but as the human comes under the omnivores. But some of the human cannot eat the flesh, okay, or it means egg or meat and fish that can be preserved by curing them with salt. The meat and fish can be preserved by curing them with salt. If we by the curing with salt, the meat and fish can be preserved. Okay, and second, meat and fish can be preserved by the salt. Jam and jellies are preserved by sugar. Jam and jelly is so tasty, na? So jam and jelly is so tasty. Okay, some of your favorite. So as to preserve the jam and one second. Yes, jam and jellies are preserved by sugar. If you can preserve the jam and jellies for a long time, you can preserved by the sugar. Third point will be both inhibit the growth of microorganisms. When you if you want to preserve the meat and fish for a long time, you can preserve by the salt, and if you preserve the jam and jellies, you can preserve by the sugar. These both stop the growth of microorganism, or these both inhibit the growth of microorganism. Okay, so there will be end of chapter. There will be the end of chapter. 1 second. Here are the mind map. One quick recap also. Microorganism, our friend and foe. Okay, we will into a useful microorganism or harmful microorganism, or in the useful microorganism in the food, in the medicine, in the environment also, and in the harmful in the humans. Disease can be caused in the humans by the microorganism. That can be in the animals, and in the plant we can study about that. And we can at last we can study about the food preservation, why the food preservation need, and by what is the method of the food preservation. So there will be the end of the chapter. So this is your mind map. Bye bye guys.